Katt.
You're a sucker. The reason I don't do Big Tigger is because I had a tumor in my upper jaw and they had to take it out, and they had to block the whole right of my sinus with a piece of metal. So ever since I got out the Marine Corps, I can only breathe out of one nostril, boy.
I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist to a degree. Like, when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, I don't know. But certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, wow, all these brothers gotta wear a dress. This happened to me. I'm doing a movie with Martin.
Yeah.
The movie's going good. So I walk in the trailer, I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer, because there's a...
Dave Chappelle, another great comedian, said that, you know, in the industry, they tried to make him wear a dress. Have you ever ran into that with scripts, and is that something that, you know, you wouldn't do, you know, for
I definitely haven't ran into to put on the dress. I mean, you know, you have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross. You know, for me, I know
The comedy world just got rocked again, and it's not from a punchline. Katt Williams, known for never biting his tongue, is back in the headlines after calling out Kevin Hart in what fans are calling a brutal verbal takedown. But this time, the fire wasn't just about Hart's comedy, or lack thereof. It involved something deeper, a sharp jab at how Kevin allegedly sold out, and at the heart of it all is sports commentator Shannon Sharpe. Katt's recent words have people raising eyebrows, and the internet is ablaze with reactions. Why did Katt target Kevin again? What exactly does Shannon Sharpe have to do with this feud? And is there any truth behind the accusations? Let's break down this drama-packed saga piece by piece, because this isn't just comedy beef anymore. It's about respect, integrity, and the cost of fame.
Fortunately, guys, he has lost ESPN, and he has lost his $100 million podcast deal. All over some Badusi.
Katt Williams is no stranger to controversy, and once again, he's turning heads. In a recent podcast appearance, Katt didn't hesitate to name-drop Kevin Hart, reigniting their long-standing feud. But this time, it wasn't about jokes being stolen or who's the better comedian. It was about trust and authenticity. Katt accused Kevin of playing the game in a way that sacrifices realness for mainstream success. And fans knew he meant business, as Katt's tone was anything but humorous. He painted Kevin as someone who's willing to align with powerful networks and sell out friends to stay on top. It was a raw and cutting message, especially since the beef between the two had seemed to cool down in recent years. But now, with Katt calling Kevin a puppet, it's clear this old rivalry has flared up again in a big way.
I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist to a degree. Like, when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, I don't know. But certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, wow, all these brothers gotta wear a dress. This happened to me. I'm doing a movie with Martin.
Yeah.
The movie's going good. So I walk in the trailer, I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer, because there's a dress in here. They come in, the writer comes in, I think he's the writer, he's like, Dave, listen, we got this hilarious scene where Martin's sneaking out of jail, so he disguises you as a... and he put this dress on, and what? No, I'm not doing that, I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're right. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress. Oh, come on, Dave, listen, we got it all set up. We're supposed to shoot. Every minute you waste costs this much money. You know, the pressure comes in. He said, I'm not wearing no dress, man. I'm funnier than a dress. Just give me something funny to say. I don't need to wear no dress to be funny. What am I, Milton Berle? You know, we're going like this. And then finally he's like, and he leaves, and then like the director comes, Dave, it really would be great if you wear the dress. And it was clear, I was adamant, I'm not wearing the dress, I'm not wearing the dress. All right, fine, think of something else. Guy comes back 10 minutes later, the whole new scene. Hot damn, how did you write the scene?
In a surprising twist, Shannon Sharpe's name was thrown into the drama. Katt Williams suggested that Kevin Hart used his appearance on Sharpe's show, Club Shay Shay, to manipulate public perception. According to Katt, Kevin saw the platform as a way to clean up his image, especially after recent criticisms. While Sharpe didn't directly do anything wrong, Katt hinted that Kevin used the host's credibility and popularity in the Black community to his advantage. Katt even implied that Shannon Sharpe was unknowingly complicit in Kevin's media play. This shocked fans, as Shannon is widely respected for his no-nonsense attitude and authenticity. By dragging Sharpe into the conversation, Katt may have crossed a line, or uncovered something deeper. Either way, it raised questions about who's really pulling the strings behind the scenes, and how platforms like Sharpe's are being used to control narratives.
You're a sucker. The reason I don't do Big Tigger is because I had a tumor in my upper jaw and they had to take it out, and they had to block the whole right of my sinus with a piece of metal. So ever since I got out the Marine Corps, I can only breathe out of one nostril, boy. I get my blood tested every 3 months for the last 15 years. All narcotic tests have come up 0.00%. I'm 44 years old, little Tigger. You look up my rap sheet. I have never had a DUI or a possession of anything, not even the marijuana I do every day. See, when you real, you can tell the truth about anything.
One of the most biting claims Katt made was that Kevin Hart is not one of us. While it may sound vague, the message was loud and clear. Katt was challenging Kevin's cultural authenticity. He insinuated that Kevin's rise to fame came not through genuine talent or struggle, but through corporate backing and industry deals. Katt argued that Kevin didn't go through the same grind that other comedians, especially Black comedians, had to endure. According to Katt, Kevin was handed success on a silver platter, skipping the dues paying that defines real credibility in the comedy world. Fans interpreted this as Katt drawing a line between real ones and sellouts. It wasn't just about being funny, it was about being real, staying true to the community, and not letting fame dilute your essence. That one line, "He's not one of us," cut deeper than a dozen jokes ever could.
But Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are going to say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress-wearing people before him. So now we have Big Mama's house 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
I've never seen Medea in a pantsuit. I think she wears dresses. So now I'm saying, why are we picking on poor little Kevin Hart? Because it was his turn next.
Katt didn't stop at personal jabs. He went after the whole operation. He accused Kevin Hart of using a powerful media machine to control narratives, suppress criticism, and elevate himself at the expense of others. According to Katt, Kevin is backed by major studios, PR teams, and networks that work overtime to polish his image and protect him from backlash. He even suggested that Kevin's interviews, like the one with Shannon Sharpe, are carefully calculated, not spontaneous. Katt described it as a scripted redemption tour, orchestrated to keep Kevin's brand spotless. This allegation casts doubt on Kevin's humility and transparency. If true, it means the public's perception of him is manufactured. Katt's message was clear. Real ones don't need a team to spin their story. They stand on truth alone. That sentiment resonated with fans who are tired of polished, corporate-safe personas in entertainment.
My frustration with Katt Williams comes from, you keep pointing at Hollywood. Hollywood this, the white man, this, and this. When do you take responsibility for your actions? You had the shot.
Katt was in that position at one point.
You were the guy.
Yeah.
You were set up to be the star. You didn't show up to work. You off promo shoots. You off your promo trips that they had set up for you. You became a risk to the studios, which is why the studios stopped with you.
Why was he a risk?
He chose you.
Oh, okay.
Take responsibility for what you chose and say, you know what, I gotta fix me, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna stand up for comedy. So when you say Tiffany Haddish doesn't deserve or isn't really a comedian and these other women have worked hard, which they have. Shouts out to Melanie Camacho, shouts out to Lunel, shouts out to Leslie Jones, who are all underneath the umbrella of Katt Williams. Katt Williams, have you ever used your platform to bring the people that were under you up? You haven't. So because you haven't, Don't knows that now are. I've used my platform and I've brought my guys and girls up. The brand of Kevin Hart is a brand that's expanded so far, whether you like me or not. My presence in comedy will forever be felt because I'm a boss. I sit on the top of it, and the opportunities that I'm giving are the ones that I'm creating. So take responsibility for what you did. You. Nobody else did. You don't hear Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, the Kings of Comedy, Seinfeld. You don't hear George Lopez, Eddie Griffin. You don't hear fucking who else can I go down the road of other comedians? Steve Martin, Martin Short. You don't hear the guys that got on top and that made it by doing what they love complain about the people that are coming under them. The reason why is because they're happy with themselves. Don't blame everybody else for your shit. Don't shit on my sister Light because you're not happy with your shit. This shit's earned, it's not given.
Digging deeper, Katt Williams used his feud with Kevin Hart to call out Hollywood's gatekeeping. He accused the industry of choosing who gets to rise and who stays invisible, not based on talent, but on compliance. According to Katt, Kevin Hart is a prime example of someone who played the game, doing whatever it took to get inside the doors, while others were locked out. Katt claimed that Hollywood favors entertainers who won't challenge the system or speak out against injustice. It was a stinging critique of how fame is manufactured and how outspoken figures like Katt are often sidelined. He warned up-and-coming artists not to fall for the illusion of inclusion, reminding them that some platforms come with chains. Katt's commentary struck a nerve, especially among fans who feel that authentic voices are often silenced to keep the spotlight on the safe, marketable faces.
If somebody, I read a comment, I don't know why these older men want to date these young girls that can be old enough, that can be young enough to be their daughters and don't find that creepy. I responded to say, I don't know why these women be in everybody's business and don't find that creepy. But why? Hold on. But if Stella can get her groove back, Shay gonna get his groove back. How Shay got his groove back?
Yeah.
Y'all didn't say no for Stella, because I remember I went to the movie and you clap it. Yeah, child. Do it, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Now all of a sudden, Shay trying to get his groove back. That's a problem.
Yeah, it's a double standard. It's a double standard. Depending on, and sometimes this is what they try to do. Older women, this is what older women try to do. Older women will guilt trip you.
Baby, I'm grateful I'm not 56 and trying.
But you tried to say, what you trying to say?
I'm looking right at you.
I know you looking at me.
I ain't backing down. You better take your old ass and get somebody to love you. Let me tell y'all what Shannon needs.
Let me
tell you what my baby need. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon need. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl.
I do.
This is your auntie talking to you. Take your get you an old child there that can love you old. You trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it. When they want you to go for the 4th round, you looking at her like, listen, you want some money to go to Starbucks?
Yeah,
because I can't go no further. But if you get your older girl, when you get to that 4th round, she's gonna say, hold on. Let me go get you some eggs and cheese.
While the internet exploded with reactions to Katt's accusations, one notable figure remained silent: Shannon Sharpe. Despite being mentioned directly, Sharpe hasn't issued a response. Some interpret this as class, suggesting he refuses to entertain negativity. Others think he's caught off guard, unsure how to address the issue without worsening the situation. Sharpe is known for his articulate and passionate takes, so his silence speaks volumes. It also adds mystery to the drama. Does he agree with Katt's assessment of Kevin Hart? Was he truly unaware he was being used? Or is he simply avoiding controversy altogether? Until he speaks, fans are left to speculate. Sharpe's next move could shift the narrative or end the conversation. But for now, the silence is deafening, and it's giving Katt's words more power than ever. Kevin Hart didn't go on a full-blown rant, but he definitely responded.
Dave Chappelle, another great comedian, said that, in the industry, they tried to make him wear a dress. Have you ever ran into that with scripts, and is that something that, you wouldn't do, for
I definitely haven't ran into to put on the dress. I mean, you have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross. For me, I know what they are. They've yet to been challenged, so I don't have to speak on them. I was asked to dribble a basketball on the talk show this morning.
You look
said
good
no to
doing
that. Not that was a dress, but I was like, no, I'm gonna look stupid. At the end of the day, you got to know that you're a brand. I'm a brand. You need to protect your brand at all times. When things happen that can possibly affect your brand, your brand can be diminished, and you don't want that to happen. So, protecting my brand is definitely a priority.
In a series of subtle tweets and Instagram posts, Kevin dropped hints that seemed aimed at Katt. He posted cryptic messages about winning by staying silent and not feeding negativity, which fans interpreted as indirect shade. He also shared behind-the-scenes clips of upcoming projects, signaling that he's staying booked and unbothered. Kevin's response, or lack thereof, reflects his typical PR strategy. Don't engage, just rise above. However, some critics argue that this silence is part of the image Katt called fake. They say Kevin's calm demeanor isn't maturity, it's media training. His refusal to directly address Katt's accusations might come off as dismissive or even guilty to some. While his fans support his peace-first approach, Katt's supporters see it as dodging accountability. Either way, Kevin's move was strategic, and the war of words continues, just more quietly now.
Looks of it, the new pope is not Turkson. The new pope is 9-year-old Oscar nominee, Kevin Wallace.
Wow.
Social media lit up with debates after Katt's comments went viral. Fans quickly took sides, some praising Katt for being bold enough to call out what many are too scared to say, while others defended Kevin, saying he earned his spot through hard work and talent. The core of the debate centered on authenticity. Is Kevin Hart a corporate puppet, or is he a savvy businessman who mastered the game? Is Katt a bitter outsider, or is he the last real voice in a fake industry? The conversation touched on broader themes of selling out, code switching, and staying true to your roots in an industry that rewards conformity. It became less about the two comedians and more about what they represent. The split in opinion showed how complicated fame is and how deeply people care about who gets to speak for the culture.
46 female black comedians that I know personally that I put on tour who have a hard time getting a chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A after they headline 7 shows at a club for $2,500 a week.
But people like real, and that's why they
is that
like
what
her.
they like?
They love real.
Because everybody's real then. So don't trip.
No.
Is they so ghetto? When did that become marketable? Knock it off. They like her because she want to sleep with a white man. That's why the only thing she said was, I want to give it to Brad Pitt.
Behind the scenes, whispers from industry insiders suggest there may be more truth to Katt's words than fans realize. Anonymous sources and low-key tweets from entertainment writers hinted that Kevin Hart's path to stardom wasn't as organic as it seemed. Rumors swirled about deals made behind closed doors and strategic alliances that fast-tracked his rise. These whispers lend credibility to Katt's claims about Hollywood gatekeeping and media manipulation. Some even suggested that Kevin's relationship with certain executives helped him bypass the obstacles that hold back most black comedians. While nothing is confirmed, the timing of these revelations added fuel to the fire. It's one thing for a rival to make accusations, but when insiders start hinting at skeletons in the closet, people start to listen. The drama isn't just public, it may be institutional. At its core, this feud isn't just about two comedians, it's about culture, legacy, and the price of success. Katt Williams has positioned himself as the voice of resistance, someone who refuses to compromise for fame. Kevin Hart, on the other hand, represents what happens when you play by the rules and win. The clash between the two speaks to a deeper divide in entertainment: raw versus refined, truth versus branding. It also challenges audiences to think critically about who they support and why. Are we cheering for authentic voices or just polished images? As the lines between entertainment and influence blur, this feud forces a reckoning. It's not just about jokes, it's about who controls the mic, who sets the narrative, and who we trust to speak for us. Comedy is changing, and this clash may shape where it goes next. So, where do we go from here? With Katt Williams refusing to hold back and Kevin Hart continuing to play it cool, this beef is far from over. Whether you think Katt is calling out real issues or just stirring the pot, one thing's clear: he's making people talk. And in an industry where silence is often safer than truth, that's saying something. As for Shannon Sharpe, well, all eyes are on him to respond. Will he speak up? Or will he stay above the fray? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure: When Katt Williams talks, people listen. And when Kevin Hart gets called out, the world takes notice. Let us know in the comments whose side you're on, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the wild world of fame and entertainment.